Okay, I will do it.
There
Everyone's
you go.
comfortable with that. Great. So we are recording. So, but if you want to take notes, great. If you've got questions throughout it, that's great as well. If you got questions at the end, we're going to make some time for that as well. But I know we're going to respect everyone's time, so we're going to be done at 11 o'clock. So there's a lot to cover when it comes to social media and digital ads. So we're going to cover as much as possible during this time. So I'm just going to share the slide deck. So you're going to see your screen go to full screen now. If everyone wants to give me a wave, see that their screen is looking good. They can see. Lovely. So again, thank you to the Cloverdale District Chamber of Commerce for hosting this. So we're going to talk about professional social media, organic and paid, and talk about the opportunities that we have. These are some of the brands that we work with, that we've built social media plans for, strategies for, campaigns for, both on the content side, which is we're going to call social media, also known as organic social media, and on the paid side. So that's running digital ads for these brands. So that's where our experience comes from. That's where our knowledge comes from. And that's where we're going to be sharing with you today. So sometimes doing social media and running ads can feel overwhelming, can feel like you are just plunking away and trying to find the best way to get traction for your business. And so today we're going to talk about some practical takeaways that you can use for your small business, for a local business, and to get more people in the door and to get more memberships or services sold or products sold or just people in the door generally. So of course, we know about some of the benefits, but of course, some of the key benefits of social media marketing, commercial partnerships, increase in thought leadership for you and your brand, obtaining market insights. There's some incredible data and statistics on the back end of Facebook and Instagram. If you haven't used them yet, it's probably one of the best perks of growing and going on social media. As much as social media is rented space, as you don't own Facebook, you don't own Instagram, and they have the right and the freedom to change things as much as they want, whenever they want, you are on rented land. But in the meantime, while you're there and you're growing your following and growing a presence there, you're able to get some really good data and insights into who your fans are. You find out what their gender is, you find out what their age is, you can find out what their interests are. It's really good market insight. So then if and when maybe you decide to do something with, say, a mailing, like a Canada Post mailing, or you decide to do something in the newspaper or on TV, you can use those insights that you've gained from Facebook and Instagram, LinkedIn, and other social media channels to help you market better. Builds fan loyalty. So as people get to know your brand and love your brand, as you share personal insights about your brand, people are going to share it more and continue to feel a more connection and akin to who you are and what your organization does. Improve sales as you grow your business. Lead generation, so bringing leads in the door. Increase in traffic and increase in visibility overall. So again, all the reasons to be on social media. But again, one of the biggest kind of hurdles I find with social media, especially in 2020, is what social media channel should I be on? There are so many options today. You've probably been watching during COVID, TikTok has really taken off. It's become one of the most popular social media channels out there on the market. Again, 8 million monthly users and growing. But again, users age 16 to 24. So unless you're really selling to 16 to 24-year-olds, you probably don't need to be on there. But again, makes great little micro videos. They're almost like karaoke style videos is what they're made for. But I find that one of the most important pieces of social media information is that at the very least on the far right is called Google My Business. That's the #1 social media channel you should be on. And most people don't consider Google My Business a social media channel because it's not often referred to as that. But any form of media that you can socialize with is a form of social media. So Google My Business is a free service. It's a free app, much like all the other social media channels. They're free. Again, the reason they make money is people can advertise within them, and that's how they monetize it. But Google My Business is also a free app you can get on your phone. So if you own your business, you're in your business, and you haven't downloaded the app yet, that's probably the #1 thing maybe you could take out of today's session is download Google My Business. And what it does, it gives you incredible insights to what people are searching for when they find your organization, when they find your business. It tells you what time of day they're searching for your organization. And right within there, people can write reviews about your company. You can respond to those reviews and socialize with those people. So again, it allows you to socialize with people who engage in your business. And if you're saying, well, I have a Google My Business and I've been trying to get people to review, there's two really, really good tools right now for gaining and garnering reviews. One of them is called Bird Eye. So it's just like a bird and then the word I.com. And the second one is 5-star reviews. Both of them are incredible resources for, again, say you've got 2 reviews on your page, but you're bringing in, you've had more than 2 customers and more than 2 happy customers. Or maybe someone wrote, you don't even know who they are, but they wrote a 1-star and you're really frustrated by it and you can't really get rid of any reviews on Google. The only way to really do it is to just fill it with really positive reviews. So again, 5-star review or Bird Eye are 2 really good tools. So Bird Eye, how it works is if someone comes into your organization for a purchase of a product or your service, Bird Eye automatically sends them an email saying, hey, please review us on Google My Business. And it makes it really easy for them to do that. Again, the other channels to make note of is LinkedIn is a really important channel to be on today, even more than ever. It's not noisy, it's not full of ads, and just really good opportunities for business-to-business connections and even business-to-consumer connections. It's become the go-to place where often with Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, you've kind of followed mostly a lot of brands and connected with a lot of people maybe from high school or university, whereas LinkedIn has stayed pretty true to its professional connections and will help you grow your business. And the third one that I'd kind of point out and keep to be aware of is YouTube. YouTube, more than ever, has become the 2nd largest search engine in the world. So again, 2nd largest search engine in the world is YouTube. The number 1 thing searched on YouTube is how to. So maybe your business helps people ship things from one place to another. Maybe your business helps, you're a chiropractor, you're an accountant. Maybe you are some other form of professional services. If you can answer people's how-to questions and put it in the form of a video, you're not telling them how to do it themselves. You're not giving away all your trade secrets, but you're positioning yourself as an expert and helping make sure that your brand is known as someone who's very, very smart on a certain topic. And so YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook have become kind of the big ones that most people are aware of, most used, kind of more consumer based. But again, if you can leverage YouTube for your professional reasons, that's a great thing. And when and if you start creating videos for YouTube, the kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone saying, or some people say feed 2 birds with 1 grain, depending if you're a pacifist or not, but you're able to create a video for YouTube. And the great thing with LinkedIn, about a year ago, they made it so you can actually take that video and post it directly to LinkedIn. So instead of LinkedIn having to post out to your video on YouTube, you can post right to LinkedIn. And LinkedIn loves it. And so how all this thing works is the algorithm of all these social media channels is saying, their ultimate goal is, how long can I keep Scott on Facebook for? So he doesn't do his job and he doesn't go down to, the vault for a nice meal. We just want him in his office on Facebook all day so we can bombard him with advertisement. That's their goal. The goal of LinkedIn is to say, make sure that Tamara doesn't leave LinkedIn to go watch a YouTube video and then start watching cat videos all day because she's tired of homeschooling. Like that's not what LinkedIn wants. LinkedIn wants you there and all the time. So when you post something directly to LinkedIn where the video lives on LinkedIn, they make sure that more of your audience sees it. Also, everyone knows that video is king right now and in kind of the ultimate piece of media. And so if you continue to post content, video content on LinkedIn, LinkedIn really loves it, and they're going to make sure more of your audience sees it and more people engage with it. So again, the whole algorithm is that once you post it, if more people comment, like, engage right away, they're going to make sure that more of your audience sees it. And this is how the organic algorithm works. And so it's basically robots, like artificial intelligence is saying, if I post something on Facebook or Twitter, and initially, and this is the sad part about being on rented land, of your Facebook fans, only about less than 5% of your fans are going to see that initial post. And if no one engages with that post in the first 15 minutes, they're not going to send it to more people. But if Facebook, the algorithm sees like, wow, you just posted something, Scott posted something that's really interesting, within the first 15 minutes, 5 people commented more than 1 sentence, 3 people tagged people in it, and 5 people liked it. They're like, oh, this must be a relevant and interesting post. We're going to share it to more than 5%. We're going to share it to another 10% of your fans. And then we're going to share it to 20% of your fans if more and more people engage. And so it's Facebook's way to say, are you posting boring content or great content? Another way to describe it, we actually have a mural in our office with a big saying that says thumb stopping content. You know, we're all on our phones, you know, doing this, you know, up and down with our thumbs, but how do you create content that causes someone to stop their thumb and pause and engage? And again, the idea is engage within the first 15 to 20 minutes. And when you got that, then you kind of work the algorithm. So, because otherwise Facebook is saying, well, we're only going to show it to 5% of your fans or less. And if it's not a great content, you're going to have to pay the piper. You're going to have to pay for more people to see it. And that's kind of how their monetization system works. But I think with that, as you look at creating great content for the social media channels, my big encouragement to every brand, especially those with limited resources, limited time, and limited energy, see what social media channels you can be on and what you can't be on. More importantly, if you can just focus, say, on like one thing, I would say Google My Business. If you're like, okay, I got room for one more channel, one more social media channel, I would say add LinkedIn. Add LinkedIn and Google My Business, and that's it. Just have those two channels that you focus on for your business. Then someone's like, well, I got a little more energy. I would say add YouTube to that mix. And you're like, okay, I got a little bit more. Then you can look at Facebook and Instagram. But as far as like monetizing your business, if you're a food brand or a food product specifically, and maybe you got something about it, you can talk about recipes. Pinterest would be great for that. But I just say, think about the core channels that you should and could be on. And then maybe think about taking a break from the rest. Or in some cases, even on those channels, maybe say, hey, you know, on the banner image on Facebook, be like, hey, we're taking a little break from Facebook right now, but you can find us over on YouTube. Or, hey, we're taking a little break from Instagram right now. And you can do like kind of images there, be like, but find us over on LinkedIn where we're spending a lot of time, or find us over on YouTube and give yourself a little break. And again, every social media channel has a different sort of feel. This sheet here gives a bunch of data about it, but we also made a little video to explain what would it look like if you speed dated all the different social media channels, and what would that be like. Hey everyone, I'm here at Speed Dating. This is awesome. Here's my business card. I need to know if you're a good photographer. It's really important if we're in a relationship that you know how to take photos of me. I hang out with a lot of reporters, a lot of politicians. If this works out for our first date, I even made a sweater for you. Have some good discussions, arguments, disagreements, learn a lot of new things, and overall, find some great memes. Is it me you're looking for? Yeah, we just met, but hey, why not? Let's be friends. By the way, did you see that other person here dressed all in yellow? There is some amazing outfits that they were wearing that I'm definitely gonna copy. I love cats. So where do you work? Are you guys looking for any new employees? I love following people. Sometimes I just follow people home. I know, I just stopped doing that. All right, what do you think of this look? No? Okay, I got another, just so you know, I don't poke people as much anymore. I could plan our whole wedding. I could do all the decorations for our wedding. I know, I'm getting too far, but you know, I've got a whole group of people I hang out with, young and old, so I'm hip with the kids. So if you have kids, that's cool. I'm gonna answer a lot of questions for you. Give me any question and I'll have an answer for you within 24 hours. Did we go to high school together maybe? Oh, and if you prefer that guy's look, we can even swap faces. I know we don't know each other very well, but do you mind introducing me to one of your connections? By the time we're done taking the photos, the meal's typically cold, but you gotta get used to that. Hashtag cold food. I love that someone else organized this, but there's definitely some changes I make. I can give you some references if you're interested, but I feel like this was a great connection. Come on. I know, again, I will not tell you my real name. Got 4 more events to go to tonight. I went to 3 earlier today. Thanks, everyone. Remember to like and subscribe. Not all social media is the same. Know your brand, make your match for a successful relationship. Hey, is there a hashtag for this? Hashtag speed dating? This was just our little tongue-in-cheek way to say, hey, figure out what channel is best for you. Again, this is just some data showing the effectiveness rating for B2C. Again, depending on what type of brand you are, what sort of marketing you do, business to consumers or business to business, which channel should you be on and should be considering. And again, maybe it even looks like if you're going to the point where, hey, you're reaching a lot of people that are in the gaming community, Twitch is something to think about. If you reach the Chinese community, WeChat. So again, thinking through processing, where is the best place to be on, not just being on for the sake of being on, but being on and thinking about it strategically. Some fun facts about LinkedIn, which again, I think is an important social channel to be on. Adding a profile photo would result in 14 times more views than someone without. 42% of hiring managers surveyed by LinkedIn said they view volunteer experience as formal work experience. A summary of 40 words or more makes you more likely to turn up in a future employer search. Again, I know not all of you are looking for work, but just to be seen and to be heard and to be found on LinkedIn. Adding an industry could get you 15 times more profile views. Your profile is 5 times more likely to be viewed if you join and are active in groups. Members who include skills get around 13 times more profile views. And members who have an education on their profile receive an average of 10 times more profile views. So just some things to think about as you go to update your LinkedIn. And this is me aging myself. I was on Microsoft in the 90s where there was a little paper clip that would help me walk through how to do things on Microsoft. So LinkedIn has now done the same thing. Once you log into LinkedIn and you go to edit your profile, they made it really easy. And some software you may have seen wizards in back in the day. But again, LinkedIn is now your 2020 resume. It's kind of like your CV. It's kind of your MO. Who are you? So again, make sure that's something you could even do this weekend. Maybe you're looking for something to do on Canada Day because there's nothing going on really. So Canada Day, you could update your LinkedIn. You could put it in your calendar, something to do. But again, it allows you the chance to share who you are, say who you are, post videos, and it can become an incredible platform for sharing videos and sharing content. Best times to post on LinkedIn are Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays between 10 and 11 a.m. during the work hours. Again, Saturday and Sunday not being the best times. And again, just something to consider as you start posting. And maybe it just looks like you post 3 days a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 10 to 11, or not. But again, just knowing that you don't need to be posting every day, all the time, all day, every day. But here's just hey, what if it looks like you just post Wednesday at 10 a.m. once a week? And that's kind of a nice goal to set for yourself to grow your organization. And again, especially those that are in the B2B world, LinkedIn is still the best place to be. And again, posting between a company and a personal profile, companies, again, get some engagement, but when it comes from a personal profile, LinkedIn makes sure that all of your connections that are relevant, a sampling size gets to see that post. And if there's engagement, more of your connections see it. So again, as you can engage people within your organization to go on LinkedIn and share about your organization on LinkedIn, you get that reach there. Some key points to remember while posting on LinkedIn: create educational content. And again, think of that whole 2 birds with 1 stone or 2 birds with 1 wheat, doing 2 things at once. When you create a video, educational video, you can also post it on YouTube and LinkedIn at the same time. So you're able to kind of do 2 things at once and become more efficient. Include visuals in your articles as well as your profile. Post video content as much as possible. Publish consistently. So again, it could look like every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Tag strategically when you quote or talk about an influential person in your content, or simply someone you want to respond to your post. Use employees to create content that will humanize your brand. One even fun thing you could do, those that know how to do a screenshot on their computer, you could do a little screenshot of this session this morning. You could post it on your LinkedIn, tag everyone that you know who's in this training session and say, hey, I just took a training session with the Cloverdale Chamber of Commerce. Thank you, Scott and Tamara. Tag them in it. Here's 2 things I've learned, or 1 thing I've learned. A little photo of the group that's in the session. And that's a great post. People will be like, wow, you're passing on learning that you've learned from this morning. You've tagged some really great people. You've highlighted the Chamber of Commerce, which is a great thing. And everyone wins. It really is a win-win-win because you've passed on information and you've really kind of affirmed a really great organization. And Scott and Tamara, who have put the work in to make this happen. I'm going to just 1 sec. Hi, Evelyn. We got kids at home, little kids at home break. Hey, Evelyn. Hi. You want some water? Okay. Oh, yeah. Your backpack's in that little room there. Sweet. Awesome. Evelyn, that's fun. This is great. A little recess. Okay, I'm going to share a little video. It's got some great data and some great information about what it looks like to engage your employees in social media and empower your employees to share your messages on their social channel, and why to do it, more importantly.
Every organization today wants to break through the noise and increase their reach on social media. And while many experiment with new strategies, few are tapping into one of the most powerful channels available to them, their very own employees. When you empower your employees to share your company's social messages to their friends and followers, your audience reach can be up to 10 times greater than your own channels. It's all about the numbers. Let's say your organization has 1,500 employees and 100,000 fans and followers on social media. The average message sent through your brand's social channels has the potential to reach a maximum of 100,000 people. But if each of your 1,500 employees were to share that same message to their networks, your audience reach would extend to over 1.1 million people. Your audience reach increases exponentially because of the number of people each individual employee is connected to on social media. Best part is, 92% of your employees' followers are new to your brand. What's more, because messages shared by employees are more trusted by their friends and followers, they can receive up to 8 times more engagement and 24 times more reshares than when shared by your own channels. It all adds up to an incredible opportunity to get your message out to a bigger audience, and it's sitting right at your fingertips. The trouble is, most employees don't have a simple way to discover and share their company's social content.
So the thing is, how can you create content, whether you have a board of directors, volunteers, once a month, it could look like, hey, here's the content that we're going to send out on our social media channels this month. Could you also share it on yours? In some organizations, we've even been able to say we use a tool called Sprout Social. Another tool is called Hootsuite, but people actually hand over access to their LinkedIn so that, 4 to 10 times a month, their information from, say, a chamber of commerce or from like a law firm or from an accounting firm, the content goes out to all the partners and board members and key stakeholders' social media channels. We've seen a lot more charities take advantage of that. So there's these board members of charities and they're saying, man, I really want to promote this, but I'm just so busy. I don't have time to post on my social. And so they volunteer over their LinkedIn channels and say, hey, I'll let you twice a week post about this organization that I'm really passionate about and excited about on my LinkedIn because I'm too busy to do it, and the organization does it for them. So who in your organization could you engage with that would be willing to promote your organization on their social channels? And if they are too busy, even better, because you make it really easy for them because you're already posting on your channels, and using a tool like Hootsuite or Sprout Social allows you to post to everyone's channel at once. It's a really, really powerful tool. So again, sometimes you can even create a content calendar ahead of time. So this is an example here. Monday to Friday, what does each post day look like? What does the photo look like? Is it a lifestyle pic, quote, or a video? Every organization is going to look different. Every social calendar is going to look different. But thanks to tools like Sprout Social and Hootsuite, it allows you to actually pre-plan the entire month ahead of time. Plus, it allows you to allow stakeholders, board members, volunteers, investors in your organization and company to actually share in their social. And again, like that video we just saw, the numbers prove that you can, again, reach more people and see a bigger influence. If you haven't downloaded Canva yet, please do. It is powerful. It is amazing. Probably one of the most powerful apps on the market today, and it's free. This is what I love about this session today. Most of the things I'm going to talk about are free. This last idea here was free. So again, as you get people to post on your behalf, it's a free way to reach more people without having to pay. But Canva allows you to make social media graphics, newsletter templates, flyers, infographics. You look like an incredible professional, all because of the secret of Canva. Graphic designers who are professionally trained graphic designers hate it because it's basically doing everything that they do. But again, there's certain things, of course, that it can't do that a professional graphic designer can do. But again, it makes you look amazing when you can do it. Here are just some infographics that you can create with Canva, just as some examples. So again, if you have a lot of information to share about what you do, whether it's financial services, or maybe what you do is complicated, or you're trying to recruit people to become members, say, of a chamber of commerce, infographics work really well to help people learn the value of it, the benefits of it. So again, sometimes the benefit of joining a chamber can be overwhelming, but putting it all into an infographic allows people to digest things a lot easier. And that's one of the beauties and the powerfulness of infographics. Sprout Social was the tool I mentioned that allows you to schedule content and allow people to hand over their social channels so you can get content out to 30, 40, 50 people all at once. This one charity, recently we talked about this idea. Within 2 months, they had 14 stakeholders all give over their LinkedIn and their Facebook profiles to be able to share about the charity 4 times a month, which I thought was really, really cool. So other channels to consider, e-newsletter, web chat, guest blogging, and a podcast. Just again, some great free opportunities at the moment. We send out as Jelly, bi-weekly e-newsletter. And again, it allows people to know who you are, reminds them of who you are. Again, going more than bi-weekly, it all depends on your audience. But as you study the statistics on the back end, as far as open rates and click-through rates, again, for the B2B sector, so if you're the chamber or your professional services like a law firm, accounting firm, you're going to want to make sure that your open rate, you're staying around kind of the 10% open rate. If you can get more than 10%, 20%, 30%, that'd be amazing. And click-through rate, you want to be around the 3% mark. If you're seeing yourself lower than that, you probably need to put in more engaging content. You probably need to maybe send less e-newsletters, but make sure that you study those statistics as far as 3% click rate, 15 to 20% open rate. That is a good thing. Any less, there's probably a problem, and you need to kind of rejig what you're putting in as content. And what we often do is we put in lots of options of what people can click on and study to see what they're interested in. During COVID, we learned that our audience was mostly interested in recreational activities, online games, fun things they could do, interesting backdrops, ways to change their Zoom profile. So that was what we found our audience was interested in. But when it came to really practical stuff, it was like, nah, not so much. But that was really fun to learn, is that people were tired. They just wanted something fun to look at and interesting to look at. We actually found even a playlist of, if you work from home, it was background noise of an office. And that was our most clicked on link in all of our e-newsletters during COVID, was people who wanted a playlist of background noise, which I thought was hilarious because it was just the hustle and bustle of an office, people that missed it. Or they just thought it was a funny idea and wanted to hear that this was real. This is an example. This is an incredible law firm in Langley, CBM Lawyers. There's a little tool in the bottom right corner you can check out if you go to CBM Lawyers. It's a web chat. We use a paid service called Live Admins, and it's 24/7 monitored by real people. And of course, because it's a law firm, they can't give legal advice. But the people in the chat get their email and they get their phone number. What's your email? What's your phone number? Sometimes I test it and say, hello. There's always a name there. Hello, Sylvia. I found a dead body in my bathtub. What do I do? I need a lawyer. And then they're great. They don't tell me any legal advice. They're just like, phone the police. But let me get your name and number and we'll get a lawyer to contact you right away. So I always test to see, like, what do they do? I don't test often. That would be mean and bad to do. But because they're real people, they're not robots. But that costs about $700 a month to $1,000 a month, depending on how much traffic comes. But there's a free version called talk.to. So TAWK.to. And we always get all of our clients to go on that because it's free, and to test it out first to see if your audience wants to engage in chat. We've got an addiction recovery center client in Vancouver that uses it. The chats go to 3 of their team members. And so whoever's available can respond to the chat. But whether it's a mother or a grandmother or someone who is an addict is able to be like, hey, I need help right away, or how do I get engaged in the program? And they can respond on their phone right away. And it's a great free service. And then if we ever say to them, hey, are you getting overwhelmed with chats? Maybe then we pay for it. But it's really awesome that we live in a time when the chat service is currently free and it connects directly to your phone. But again, when we talk about social media, the e-newsletter is a form of social media, because when someone posts and I send out an e-newsletter, people can respond and socialize with me. They can be like, hey, thanks for the update, or that's really cool, or thanks for letting me know, or that was a helpful link, or things like that. Or the chat, you're really actually socializing with a person because you're engaging with them, whether it's on your phone or you use an outsourced service like Live Admins. Guest blogging is another one. So whether it's, whatever service you provide, you could say to someone, hey, I want to swap blogs with you. Hey, you could talk to your accounting firm. Hey, Frankie, the accountant, I'd love to swap blogs with you. I'll do a blog on your site. You do a blog on mine. Maybe it's a funeral home because you do flowers, or you do event planning, or, you do some sort of end of life service, whether it's the Chamber of Commerce, the Board of Trade, Business Improvement Association, Business Improvement, that should say. But all these are amazing organizations that have a really, really great audience. And so the benefit for them is they get great content from you. Benefit for you is you get a really good backlink, and Google sees that you've got a backlink linking back to you. And maybe they even do a blog for you and you do a blog swap. And then the benefit for the audience is they get a really good blog that they read about, they learn something new, they benefit from that. And so again, the more you can blog swap and blog exchange and create this content, it helps your Google ranking, because Google sees that you're a local organization, you're relevant, you're helpful, and everyone wins in this situation. So again, people then can learn from this, socialize with it, and then it gives people an opportunity to take that content and put it on their social media channels. Like, hey, read my latest article I wrote for Cloverdale Chamber of Commerce, and they link to it from their LinkedIn. Not only does it help get more traffic to the Cloverdale Chamber site, but it also shows you as an expert because, wow, you just got published on a really reputable website. Another one to think about is podcasting. So some friends and I have a podcast called Marketing Jam. Surprisingly, it's not that difficult to create a podcast. There's a really great app called anchor.fm. So just like a boat anchor, ANCHOR.fm, you just take an audio file, upload it to Anchor FM, and it exports it to all 9 podcast channels that are on the market today. So all of a sudden, within minutes, you've got a podcast on iTunes, you got a podcast on Spotify, you got one on Stitcher, everywhere where podcasts can be listened to. Anchor distributes it all for you. It's really, really awesome. And so again, having a podcast allows you to share knowledge, ideas. What I find is I don't always have the smartest things to say. I don't always have the brightest ideas. So I just bring people on my show who are way smarter than me, and I just ask them questions. It's great. So I don't have to come up with unique ideas all the time, but I can find really, really smart people and interview them. And in turn, what we found was, and again, the whole idea of killing 2 birds with 1 stone or feeding 2 birds with 1 grain is we actually do all of our podcasts in video format. And then we just take the audio from that video and upload it to the podcast program. So again, it allows us then to create great video content for LinkedIn, for YouTube, and allows us then to double our efforts by also having a podcast launched at the same time. So again, if I take an hour out of my day to interview someone, we edit it, upload it to YouTube, it's really nice to know that that hour not only just went into creating a video that goes on YouTube, but the video can go on my LinkedIn, and then the audio can go on those podcast channels. So again, creating efficiencies, reaching more people, and getting kind of the piece out there. Some things to think about, these are just 3 levels of mics if you want to consider doing some audio recording in-house. Getting a podcast going, you can get a lav mic. The one I have that I use that I plug right into my iPhone was $39. Right from Amazon. You get cheaper ones, $20. But again, lav mics that go right into your computer or your iPhone, are less than $50. You can go to the next level and get like a USB condenser microphone kit, which is really cool and fancy, and it looks awesome because it's on a stand. Or you can get a Blue Yeti USB. Today, I'm just using this blue, it's called a Snowball. I just picked this up from Best Buy. This was like $120. So there's all sorts of great audio options to do some really powerful audio recording right in your own home. And again, these are for the lighting because you want to make sure the lighting is good. I'm currently, as you can probably tell, not using lighting. Our studio is currently booked. But again, whether it's a collapsible ring light that you can get for $100 to a really fancy one from Henry's to just one here in the middle from Urban Outfitters. Again, these are some great options just to make your videos really bright, make your audio really good, and it allows you to make sure that whatever your content you're creating for YouTube, the audio can be ripped out and used on the beautiful podcast world and channels. And the beautiful part about that is we just use a tool called Skype. If you remember Skype, so I don't know if people still Skype today, but every time we invite a guest on, we're like, hey, when we do it on Skype, they're like, Skype, wow. And they dust off their Skype account and they come on the show. But Skype is amazing. So you just hit record within Skype and Skype records the video for you, which is awesome. And it even records the audio. So it does both at the same time. Again, if you want to just keep it simple and just do it off of your iPhone, iMovie right within the iPhone allows you to do a really great video right within your iPhone on a free app called iMovie. So again, some things to consider, the fact that right in your hand and right on your computer, if you've got Skype or if you've got an iPhone and probably an Android as well, not to leave out the Android users, there's some amazing editing tools and some movie producing tools right at your fingertips. This is one of my favorite quotes. Half the money I spent on advertising and wasted. The trouble is I don't know which half. Scott actually, before the session started, quoted as well to me, but this is from a guy who lived 1838 to 1922, John Wanamaker. One of the things I love, and I wish John was alive today in 2020 and I could show him Google Goals and Google Analytics, because it's amazing what you're able to hold accountable now. Why bother with social media is sometimes a question we get. getting a analytics report. Who I understand it, I know the language, I've been in my analytics, I get all the information that comes at me. I even like to take the crucial information, the 8 pieces of crucial information as a business owner, and I put it in a dashboard report. We use This. So dashthis.com. We've seen loads of charities adopt it. So if you report to a board of directors, if you report to investors, stakeholders, they love these dashboard reports. Another one is Gecko Board is another option. But what it does is it tells your board of generals or board of directors, what have you been doing all this time? What's the last quarter been like for website growth or social media growth? And it puts it all in a visual dashboard. And even as a business owner, for me, I go in probably once a week or every couple of weeks, and I look to see, okay, where have my leads been coming from and what sort of conversions are we seeing happening? So it tells you not only where is all the traffic in general coming from, but it tells you where is the best qualified traffic coming from that actually converts, is interested in becoming a member, signs up for an e-newsletter, signs up for an event, fills out a contact form, makes a phone call. These are all things that you can track on your website. And then what we've been able to do is go back to whether it was a media buy we did or an ad campaign we run, and we can actually see if it was successful or not, because everything can now be tracked. You can find out where all of your web traffic is coming from. You can find out if they've been coming from that website or that website. You can find out kind of what content on your site is the most popular. It's a really powerful tool these days, Google Analytics. And it even shows you, and this is a new thing that Google Analytics even released, was when someone goes to convert, fill out a form, whatever you've decided is your conversion points on your website. And again, Google Analytics is free. Google Goals within Google Analytics is free. When someone, just before they fill out a contact form or before they do it, Google tracks that and tells you what they did and where they came from for that conversion to happen. But Google released a new feature which says multiple points. They actually tell you all the points that led to them becoming a conversion. So let's say, okay, the first time they came to our site, it was organic. The second time they came to the site was from a Facebook ad. The third time they came to the site was through a chamber email, like was an e-newsletter. And that's when they converted. So we're able to attribute to be like, okay, these are all the points, but this was the final piece that got them to convert. So as you analyze and monitor to say, okay, 2020, I've got maybe a more limited budget. I'm having to be a little more fiscally responsible. I've got to shave down kind of where my spend goes. The Google Analytics can tell you and can help you understand where your spend should go. Even for us, we sometimes get surprises when we see conversions by source is the main thing I look at. Sometimes a website will pop up that I didn't even know we were on. So we were finding we were getting a bunch of leads from this listing site that I didn't even know existed. And then I went to the site and realized that someone had done a review about us, a really positive review, and we were getting a ton of leads from that site because they had really good Google ranking. And so we realized, wow, that's really great. So we followed up with the site and said, hey, what does it cost me to do an ad here? Because we're getting great traffic. This is awesome. And if we can see that we're getting great traffic from organic, what would it look like if we actually paid to be on there? And what could that look like? Speaking of which, this is a great transition time to paid ads. So we're talking about Google ads versus Facebook and Instagram ads versus LinkedIn. So the term impulse versus intent-driven traffic. So intent-driven is someone is actively looking for your product and service. Their intent. Impulse is someone isn't thinking of your brand, sees ad, and is driven by impulse to engage. So those are the two different types of audience that you could see on the internet. So intent, how do I become a chamber member in Cloverdale? How do I get, is something shipped to this location? How do I, dentist Surrey? Those are all the things someone is actively looking. Impulse is someone, isn't thinking of you yet, but they see an ad in the corner of their eye. They see an ad on a website. They're moved by it and impulsively engages with that ad. Facebook and Instagram is entirely impulse driven. Users are not thinking of your brand. You're interrupting their viewing experience within Facebook and Instagram. So you gotta make sure your ads are beautiful and engaging and interesting, videos, beautiful. They see the ad in their feed and they choose whether to engage. It's recommended for your business is retargeting ads, the ads that follow you around. Those are the ones that you can actually follow people and they follow them onto Facebook and Instagram. And it's great for lead generation. So build a list of emails for your newsletter. So there's an ad set within Facebook called Facebook lead ads. Again, one of the cheapest form of ads because, again, much like they don't want Scott to leave Facebook, it keeps Scott within Facebook and Scott just has to hit one button and his Facebook already has his actually accurate email address that he spelled correctly, his name, his phone number, everything, and you just hit one button and that sends all that lead information to you, the brand. So again, it doesn't send them off the website to another website to hopefully they'll fill in a form, and when they fill in the form, they type in their email address wrong, they put their phone number in wrong. Facebook lead ads does all the work for you, so it's a win-win-win because the email's right, which you know, and it's great, and you also, they don't leave and they're a lot cheaper, which is great. Another way you can do is do page likes to build your social following if you're interested. So again, it shows some kind of social proof that you're a great organization. But again, with the caveat knowing that you are on rented land, you don't own those contacts. So again, we always encourage people to build your email list, build your email list, build your email list, because you can keep that forever. Whereas your Facebook following, you can lose it in a day if Facebook ever shuts down, or if again, they change their algorithm so only 1% of your fans see your posts versus 5, it's just very unfair. And targeting. If you have more than 1,000 customers in a database, you can upload them within Facebook and create a lookalike audience to find people who are like that. So Facebook will study those 1,000 people, see what their age is, their location, their interests, their buying habits. It studies everything about them and then creates a custom audience that looks like those people. So you may find out that, hey, your average customer is typically this age, from this area, interested in these types of things. It's really powerful these days that Facebook can do that for you. So important pieces of information: must install Facebook Pixel for tracking purposes. Make sure you've done that if you're running Facebook ads. Easiest way to install it is within your Google Tag Manager. Manual installation, place tracking script in the header section of the website's HTML on every page. Otherwise, make sure you've got Google Tag Manager. Easiest way to do it. It's kind of like the one place that you can install it and it goes well and easy. Some of the pros of Facebook, Instagram: it's inexpensive, high engagement, allows rich media, which is again, photos, videos, like moving images. Some of the cons: targeting can be tricky, forcing you to rely on lookalike audiences because again, you can't always know who to approach. Just one quick thing. I think there was a little chat here. I like this. I like that we're chat. Does this mean we can upload our member list to Facebook? Yes. Does that info stay confidential? Yes. So much like you can upload your information to like MailChimp or Constant Contact, it's a similar kind of privacy policy. It's a US private policy. So it's all private, it's all confidential. If you are really actually worried about privacy and kind of where information is hosted on servers and US servers, you probably want to be using Cyber Impact as your email server. It's the only email tool where servers are actually located in Canada. So those of you that are really into privacy and server data information, actually by law, hospitals, education organizations have to use Cyber Impact because it's the only place where servers are in Canada, which is kind of neat to know. LinkedIn ads, entirely impulse driven. Recommended for your business is the retargeting ads within LinkedIn, the ads that follow you around because they then follow you on LinkedIn. And company targeting. You can target companies who may be in need of your service or product. So you can target the actual company and people that work at a company, which is pretty cool. Some of the pros: a more mature audience. Some of the cons: significantly higher cost than Facebook and Instagram ads. They are very expensive. But again, if you really know the company you want to target, the job title you want to contact, it's very accurate within LinkedIn compared to Facebook and Instagram. They are not as accurate as far as which company you work for. Not everyone's done that. Although Facebook, everyone's told the world that they're engaged, but they probably haven't kept up their job history on Facebook as well as they've done on LinkedIn. And there's a lower conversion rate. Not many people, when they're on LinkedIn, are seeing the ads, converting on the ads. Again, they're on LinkedIn for a purpose. They're usually there to do something, do this, and then get out. Whereas Facebook, they're kind of there lingering and kind of wandering around and spending time there. So something to think about. And there's low engagement on the ads because the ads, you know, there isn't all the beautiful parts of Facebook like commenting and sharing and liking. Whereas with LinkedIn, they want you to take an action and go somewhere to do something. Google ads, there's impulse and intent-driven options. So impulse is their display, which is the ads that you see everywhere on websites. There's ads within your Gmail that you may have seen if you're a Gmail user and seen the little, looks like, is that an email? No, that's an ad. And of course, YouTube. You go to watch that kitten video. Tamara's like, or watch the video like how to homeschool kids. We all watched that video. I watched it when, you know, kids all stayed at home. How do you homeschool your kid? I watched that YouTube video and there was an ad at the beginning promoting some app that will do something for me magically, and you hit skip ad, and that's the YouTube ad. And intent would be search, when someone's searching for something. So I need a plumber. I need alcohol delivered because you're homeschooling your kids. I need a masseuse because you're homeschooling your kids, right? Like all these things that happen, you've searched for those. So recommended for law firms is just an example. The vast majority of people in need of your product service will seek it out when they need it. This is the most important channel for your business because they're going to need it. For example, a law firm being B2B, they're searching for it. Whether you're an accounting firm, they're searching for it. Whether you're a plumber, they're searching for it, and you want to show up. So recommended is display in YouTube. So retargeting, target users who have visited your website or specific sections of your site. If you don't know this yet, they've gone to a specific section where it was like kind of like the last part where you're about to convert them. You can then target them with something very specific about that section of the site, and even visited with the past X number of days, which is really awesome. And in-market audiences, target users whose recent web behaviors indicate that they're looking for your product, which is another great opportunity. Well, I'm just gonna wrap this up. All of this content is used and taken from our Jelly Academy. Usually these two sessions are covered over 6 hours. We've done it in 44 minutes. So imagine this done over 6 hours. The great thing about this program too, the government covers 60% of it. So we're doing more and more training than ever, training businesses how to do marketing in-house. It's under the team training section on our website, which you can check out. And the program is called Work BC. So they pay up to $10,000 a year to train your staff to upgrade the skills. This is our podcast, again, talked about earlier, but Marketing Jam. It's on all the different podcast channels. We come up with a show every week. There's been a couple specials. We've done 2 this last week, which is kind of cool, featuring our co-host Shahid launched his own show, and we did a highlighting his latest show where he interviews anchors, news anchors, who have opinions about life today. We also have a free white paper on our website. So if you go to jellymarketing.com, go to the bottom of the site, it's just called SEO for Business. If you want to learn how to DIY SEO for your business, it's a free white paper. And of course, the bottom left-hand section, you can subscribe to our newsletter. And every 2 weeks, we'll send you some updates and news about what's happening in the world of marketing, world of business, and more insights on kind of any changes with LinkedIn and Facebook and any of the stuff we talked about today. We always like to make sure that our subscribers get the latest news. Well, I'm going to open up for questions now. So Scott, if you want to take it away and see if anyone has questions for us.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much. I'm making like tons of notes too. This is amazing stuff. So thank you very much. Yeah, so let's open it up for questions. We're a small group, so if you just want to unmute yourself and then fire away.
I just want to thank you, Darian. Very good presentation. There's a lot to absorb, though.